I am Dr. Vivek Verma, Director Orthopaedic Oncology and Joint Reconstructive Surgeries at Max Hospitals, Delhi. Today, I am going to demonstrate you the different type of products that we use in tumor prosthesis and revision joint surgeries. So today I am going to show you the use of RHK system, which is a revision hinged knee system. So now this is the implant of RHK. Normally you see this is the condylar femoral side. This is the tibial side. We have the options of the stem on the either sides. You see here, this is inherently stable so that even without any collaterals, it is locked. And how this is locked? This is the locking mechanism. From here, we have this locking components, which is through this bushing. Now it has different components. One is your condyle with this stem. The second is your tibia, where it is the tibial base plate and the distal stem. Now, if you have to see the rotatory movements, it has almost 360-degree movements, but inside the body, it rotates usually 30 to 45 degree. That is allowed. So where do we use this system? This I am going to show you now. Thank you. So now once we have to start, first you set the position like we do in a routine knee replacement. And then the first part is to use the proximal tibia zig, where you want to take a cut over the proximal tibia. So we align this, and normally you won't have this privilege because this is a complete bare bone you can apply anywhere. But usually it is either on the medial side where you need to make a space. And what is the cut that we are taking is 10 millimeter. Okay. So now you have this instrument where we put the pin, and you can see the slot here, +2, 0 and -2. So you can focus here and you can see there is this square hole where we put the pin inside. Now similar we are going to put here, take it somewhere there. Now we need to ensure, now what happens in a routine knee replacement, you preserve these ligaments, which are the collateral ligaments, because they are the source of stability. But whenever we are going to take a cut, or if there is deficiency, in this it doesn't matter. So when we look at, so this is approx, this looks fine here. We check it on both the sides, it's good. So this is an extramedullary zig which we remove. Now the next cut is that we have finalized. We are going to take the cuts where usually it is a zero slope. So once we have done this, now we remove this process out. So once we have done this cutting, now we cut in the distal femur, where we take the distal femur cutting zig. So now you see this is the condyle where we need to take it. This is important. Where do we mark it? The two epicondyles, medial and lateral, you make an axis, and then the longitudinal axis. Your entry point is slightly above that. So first you need to make an entry with a small hole, and then you put it. Then we need to enter. This is same like what you see. Now we are going to take the distal cut over the femur, for which we have arranged the implants, where we have a 6-degree valgus. You can see here, if you can focus this, there is a 6-degree valgus. These are the cutting zigs, so we are going to enter it. So you need to adjust that it should be in the center. So we are going to now anchor the pins superiorly. Now we are going to take this out completely. So now this is ready for your cutting of the distal femur. The first cut, we are going to take it perpendicular. So now we see that this is going to take cuts on both the sides. You can appreciate that this part is bigger than compared to the lateral condyle. That's why we keep a 6-degree valgus cut so that it becomes perfectly perpendicular. So now we have taken both the cuts. Now we are going to just see the sizing. So the 60 is the smallest, and then you have 65 and then 70. So you have three sizes. Let us see which one fits. So this is the 60. We can see the second one. 65. This looks fine. And now the 70. This looks big, is going beyond. So let us try with the size of 65. Now we are going to do the reaming. We have removed this proximal tibia cut taken, distal femur cut taken. Now we need to make the canal. So we are going to use this. So you can see that slowly we are preparing this canal for accommodating our implant. Now we are going to use this zig to go inside. This is specific. You can see the 02 size, and we put it inside. Now we are going to take different cuts in the upper direction, lower direction, and the chamfer cuts. You can see this is the upper edge. You need to see that we frame a piano sign. So we need to be careful about the notching here. This is a very crucial step, that we do not cut it too below. Now we are going to take the chamfer one. So we need to protect the posterior part, protect this, and then you take the posterior cut. Now we remove all the set here. So if you see the knee is like this, you don't have ACL, PCL, everything you have cut. So you need a prosthesis which fits well in both the system. So this is the femoral condyle. And now we are going to use this. We need to punch it. So we also have two pegs to give extra stability, the rotational stability. So now we are preparing the upper tibia. We have taken the cuts. This is a very important step where you need to see the tibia base plate, how much cover is given. So here you need to align it on one side, say medial. You need to look at the posterior condyles, and you also need to see that your alignment is proper. So this is a small size. First we see this size. So I think I have some space. So now this is a standard. You can see this is a standard size. So let me see. So with this standard size, I think this is fine, because your cut here has to match with the anterior border. One of all your sides should be inside, like from the lateral we have some overhang, so we adjust it. So I think this looks good to me. Now we are going to take the cuts. Next is your, this is two pegs. You put it there. The second is the sleeve. This is, now we are going to drill into this. So we make a drill hole inside. You ream it. We keep changing the sleeves. So this is the final cutting sleeve. We are going to take it down. So this takes out a lot of your bone. So this is the next for your fin cutter, which we are going to use it now. This is the instrument with which we are going to make the cuts. You see here we have made the cuts. So now this is the tibia base plate, what we have seen. We are going to use this with the system. This is the upper base plate. So we are going to push this inside deeply. So this leads to your complete sitting of the implant, and we can see that it is well covered from all the sides. So once you have prepared both the sides, you have the tibia base plate ready. Now we are preparing the tibia base plate. Just fix in position. Now I want to show you the femoral implant. So this is the femoral stem, which you have varying sizes from different lengths. This is the condyle. These are your two pegs for which we have made this space. So the position is that we put it inside. These pegs are going to fit in, and you may have to give a little bit of punch. So this is our, so this is a rotating platform. As you can see, it has 360-degree rotation visible. We need to articulate it now. The two pulleys that we see, we are going to fit it inside, and now we are going to lock it. This is the locking mechanism, where you see there is a cutting slope there. This will go inside. You put it, push, okay. So you align in a way that it is in the center. So this is the bumper which is going to lock it there. So we are going to put it here. We are going to slide it, and then it is inside. You need to give it a little punch. So now this is done. The movements you can see the rotations which are feasible, and it has almost complete. So you see the movements are maximal, movements are possible, and this rotates at this level. So this is your revision hinged knee.